When we see actors develop characters on screen or on stage, we underestimate the time, reflection, and physical effort for us to connect with these characters. It also takes a lot of heart. It's a person's life and life experiences that feed the soul of these characters. It's learning and practice and putting themselves out there to give us, the audience, a moment not just to entertain, but to think and feel with them. When I speak to my guest, I truly feel the depth of his devotion to acting in its multiple forms. So let's ask 10 questions to my extraordinary guest, Raffi Feghali.
Hello.
Hi, Rafi.
Hi. What a great introduction. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, you like it?
I love it.
Okay, that's great. So, Rafi, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about yourself. When I was looking on your website, you call yourself Peacebuilder, Performer, and Trainer.
Mm-hmm. The website is in itself a great story because because for a long time I didn't know how to. I've been doing all of these things as far as I remember, as long as I remember,
right.
And I almost never knew how to frame that, how to really tell what I do. It was very challenging for me, and the website itself took years before I was able to realize that how to do it. Even now, the way it is, I'm not sure it communicates easily to people.
I enjoyed it. It's interesting to read about every step, about everything that you do. So it's I don't want to say entertaining, but it's informative and it's interesting.
If you didn't know me, would you understand what I do?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that's good. So that took years before I was able to understand how to communicate it.
Oh, I see. The message is clear.
Yeah. So I do all of these things together. For me, they are one thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the way people see them is they are different. So I have to frame them in ways that can be more easily communicated.
Okay.
So I work a lot as a performer. I work a lot in the theater, different kinds of theater, different kind of performances, different kind of all sorts of things. I also work in Peacebuilding. It's a whole thing now, or trying to become a thing, but also very much it has a lot to do with theater. It has a lot to do with not necessarily theater as an art form, like they're not performative aspects of it, but more of the theory of how theater works. I work a lot with improv and storytelling. There's a lot of storytelling in Peacebuilding. There's a lot of narratives. There's there's a lot of
well, people have to tell their own stories.
And
not be afraid.
Exactly. A lot of the time, a big reason why Peacebuilding is needed is because we have different narratives about a similar story.
Right.
I see. Okay. A lot of the Peacebuilding work, it can be done in many ways, but all these ways, maybe they have this common thread of reshaping narratives, of realigning with a certain story, or maybe looking at my story in a different way, looking at any story in a different way. So there's
Do you feel that when they express their story, they start to see it in a different way?
There's a whole spectrum of what happens to a story, whether when you are thinking about it and then when you tell it, and then
because your mind clarifies, I feel, when
exactly
you start expressing
that's the first step.
Okay.
And then there's another step where if someone else tells it back to you, or tells your story, and you're watching it from outside, there's also a big part that has to do with that.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Right. And then there's also, how do you tell that story when you revisit it after something else, after a while, let's say, or after another event, or after another story. There's something that happened with me today, and then after this, if I go back to yesterday's story, maybe I'm telling it in a different way, or maybe I'm telling it in a way that I didn't know existed. So this also change in the way we see things is also very interesting.
That's a very interesting perspective.
Yeah. I mean, storytelling is one of it, but also there are similarities with also other kinds of theaters I do. I see a lot of improv in Peacebuilding. I saw a lot of Peacebuilding and improv. So that's why I always feel, even my theater, whether it's improv or storytelling or scripts, working with scripts or whatever it is, my approach to it would have been very different if I also didn't work on my Peacebuilding career, building those skills. Right. There were skills that were being built also for my performance career.
So it kind of nourished your passion, if you want.
I feel they nourish each other.
Yeah.
They have this cross pollination always happening. So there's always this. They're always like, whenever this one grows, whenever like my performance I don't know what, I don't think it's technique. Let's say performance experience increases. It affects the peace building work. It becomes better whenever my peace building work. If a new methodology is adopted, if a new way of doing things is worked with, it also helps or affects in a way or another the performance aspect of things. So they're cross-pollinating each other all the time. And of course, the training is something I've been doing for a very long time as well. It's also been something that was there for theater and for peace building. It started in the world of peace building more, and then it came into because once I started understanding how training works, why do we train ourselves, why do we train others,
so what's the goal
and
the objective?
Once I started understanding how it works, also the goal, the objective is very important, also the methodology, also what are the best ways to do things, and then it started to become this methodology that I can apply to maybe more things that I have experience in. So the more I gathered some experience in things, I felt, oh wait, there's something to share here, and I try to train others in doing them. And then also recently it became also more coaching, where I work with individuals instead of groups, and usually it's more tailored to their journey, it's more specific to their needs, it's more there's more nitpicking in it about things that might a general training might not touch upon. So these are the three things that you read on my website.
Do you think that this experience has helped you connect better with the audience?
Which one? Which experience?
When you're doing the peace building, because you're connecting with people and their stories, and they're opening up their hearts and their minds and their experices in life.
That's very true.
Does it help you to connect with the audience?
That's very true. There are many skills that if you bring from the peace building world to the performance world, they give you an aspect that is rarely found, and they did definitely affect it, but also they were affected by it. So it's not like this thing that who came first. It's more they're always together, helping
it's
each
a chicken
other,
and the egg
all the time. So yes, it did help it, but also it was helped by it, and I don't know which started first.
You actually do a lot of improv.
I do.
And for me, that's really hard. I could think about doing it for one night, but to do it many times again and again and again. It's like on the spur of the moment, very spontaneous, a lot of quick thinking. Is it easier for you or harder than to act a certain script? Because the script also has to be very structured. It's completely opposite to improv.
It is difficult, but it's very important for me to also acknowledge that it's a set of skills that once people start learning them or training them or constantly training them, they get easier. They become easier. They become more accessible. I truly believe anyone can become an improviser. I don't think this is something that some people can do and others can't. As long as they really want to do it, as long as they approach it as this thing that is a set of skills that need training and that need constant keeping in shape. And the sense of curiosity of growing in this and how do I grow in it, and if you have all of that, then anyone can really do it. And
which do you enjoy? Do you prefer a script or do you prefer improv?
They're two different things. I think they are two different monsters. I enjoy both of them differently.
Monsters?
I mean,
nice monsters. The ones from Monsters Inc. about Disney.
I don't know. They look nice from outside. Sometimes they are a little bit more monsters on the inside. With monster, I mean like this huge task, and it's also important that a lot of people who are good at what they do, they make it look easy. And I think that is just because they are so good at it, they make it look easy. But these things are not easy. These things, but also they're not inaccessible to people. So they are not easy. But if you ask me, I think any job and craft is not easy. I think what you're doing here is not easy. You might find it easy. You might make it look like it's easy, but it's not. You
have to work on yourself all the time and practice.
Exactly, right? So I think just like anything else in the world, if you want to do it properly, if you want to do it to a high level, if you want to do it to a very good way of I don't know, maybe you have your personal goals with
Right.
it that you want to achieve, or maybe you have certain standards that you want to get to, or maybe you have whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of but it's fun work. It's fun work. It's
Okay.
nice work, but still it's work.
How do you feel when everybody's eyes are on you? Do you feel intimidated?
Well, not
Or
really.
you're happy,
No.
maybe?
I mean, it's not necessarily a happiness or an intimidation. It's more of a connection. It's like like
Okay.
anyone. It's like when someone looks at you and you
Yeah.
feel that you
Interested.
you are in a, also when you are in a conversation with someone and you're looking at each other, or when you are
Active listening.
so there is, there is a lot of that. There is
Yeah.
a lot of active listening happening when you are. People think that the listening is happening from the side of the audience.
Yeah.
I think it also happens way more from the side of the performers, or
Right.
at least it should.
Yeah, because you have to pay attention to your audience.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah.
know. You have to know where. For me, it's a dialogue.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a two-way thing.
Right.
Always, whether it's a
Yeah.
scripted play or an improv show or a storytelling thing, or I don't know whatever it is I'm doing on stage. If I don't create a way where people feel that this is a two-way conversation, where it's a dialogue, then I feel personally, this is like, it's not necessarily how everyone does it, but personally I feel that I have failed in doing what I'm doing. It's very important that people feel that they are not just receiving things from me, but also I am receiving from them.
Right.
And whatever I'm receiving is being put back into what is happening.
Mutually beneficial.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel that public speaking is that. It's a dialogue. It's not just listening to somebody on stage speaking.
Yeah, exactly. And I hope and I wish more and more people who do public speaking or performances also see it that way, because it's, I mean, it makes it worthwhile, the fact that it's a live thing,
Right?
Or else we can record everything and watch it, stream it at home. Or
do you think we're acting out our lives, Rafi?
Yes, I think we are, but not in the way that is perceived as a negative thing.
Okay.
I think it's a very good positive thing.
Okay.
I think we play different roles in different settings in our lives. And those roles have become so second nature to us that we do not think that, wait a second, I wasn't seeing things this way just 2 hours ago when I was at the office.
Because we evolve, you mean?
We do evolve, but we also are in different contexts, and in different contexts we do different things.
Oh, we think differently.
Yeah. We think differently. We behave differently.
Yeah.
We even our perspective to things is different. And as a matter of fact, if one of the easiest ways to be a good actor, let's say, is to be able to put yourself. I mean, this is also a very old and famous technique where you put yourself in the given circumstances of the character you are trying to play.
And their shoes.
And what does that mean? That means if they are in that specific moment, if they are a parent to 2 children who have problems at school,
right.
And let's say you are a single parent, let's say whatever the story is, once you are able to put yourself in it, you will play that role. And we have similar circumstances in our lives, and we play similar roles. So we are doing that, but again, I say it with the very best of intentions. I do not mean it in the way where we are, for example, people, and this happened also with me not long ago, where people think that just because you are an actor, it means that you can easily lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if we can easily empathize.
I think
on the contrary,
I think it's the exact opposite. I think good actors they can empathize better.
Yeah.
And good actors, they are, for my experience, from what I have seen, the better someone can perform or act, the worse a liar they are.
Oh, I see what you mean, because they're real.
They're very real. They're very transparent.
Yeah.
They're very real. And these skills of being transparent and real are always on alert, on high alert all the time. So if you are put on a spot where you are expected to lie, or you want to lie, and you have a lot of unlearning to do, you have a lot of this being transparent and being as open as you can.
Acting is telling somebody else's truth.
or yours, or
Or
somebody
yeah.
else. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, also for me now, it is telling somebody else's truth, but also for me now, it's more how does this somebody else's truth relate to mine, and then I can
Oh,
tell my
okay.
truth from that perspective.
Right.
And this is also a way to
To-
get into that really transparent, really
Authenticity?
vulnerable, authentic.
Yeah.
Self and
Okay.
to be able to put it out there.
Right.
And when that skill becomes second nature to you, when you are able to do that very, very much and very quickly and all the time, then it's very difficult to lie. It's very
Right.
difficult to go back to all that hiding and trying to hide something, because you are so used to having everything out there in the open, and then hiding becomes a big effort, and then it becomes a different skill set that you really cannot do.
Do you ever feel vulnerable?
I think every moment on stage I feel extremely vulnerable.
Yeah.
I used to think that that's a weakness, and for a long time I used to fight it. I used to try to find a way to not be that vulnerable on stage, especially that you want to be in control of what is happening,
Yeah.
especially in improv where you need to be alert on what the other partners are doing, or what other players and partners are doing. You want to know, you are juggling. Usually I always say you're juggling a million things when you're improvising.
Yeah.
You are trying to think about the storyline, you're trying to think about your character, you're trying to see what the others did, what have the others put or added into the story, into the space you are in, etc.
Yeah.
And because you are always there, I always thought, but even before that, even when I was working with scripts, I always felt, it's like, this is too vulnerable. I feel too weak to be able to manage all this. And then later on, I realized it's actually this vulnerability that makes you
Human.
Of course.
Yeah.
But also in the specific case of theater,
Yeah.
it makes you a better performer.
Okay.
And this is
You can connect to the audience better that way.
Yeah. And it's like a prerequisite to a good
Okay.
performance.
Okay.
I feel, during COVID, this is great. During COVID, someone who works in the theater or in training people in rooms ended up, at home doing nothing for like a long time. So that gave us a lot of time to think and reflect on things. And one of my reflections was about, why do I still do this? Why do I still
okay.
do?
You questioned yourself.
I mean, yeah, I always do, but that
Yeah.
was a time when I was put
It was predominant.
head to
Yeah.
head with the question, and
Yeah.
I had nothing to do except answer that question.
Okay. Did you answer it?
For now, for
Okay.
whatever that means. So my question was about why do I still do theater? Why do people still do theater? Not just me. Why do people who do theater still do theater? Considering the fact that theater for a long time was a source of telling stories, of entertaining, of sharing, of all of that. But at a time when things were different, at a time when we had no radio, we had no TV, we had no Netflix, we had none of that.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, the advent of these things, one after the other, were a blow to theater, little by little.
Okay.
And the fact that theater still exists says a lot about the importance of theater, and that is beyond just doing that. That is beyond just telling stories, beyond just sharing, beyond just entertainment, or maybe all of these and more.
You think it's a community? People
It's also
like the community.
there's also the community aspect of it. So in answering my question, I was like, so let's say, I don't know, theater still exists, great. It existed, it was able to withstand radio, then it was able to withstand cinema and TV, and now it is somehow still, I mean, not very easily, theaters are struggling, but it's able to withstand Netflix somehow. So why? I had all these questions, and I realized two things that were very important to me personally, maybe not to others. I realized that one of the things that theater brings that's very important, that I think nothing else brings, is the liveness of it. And with liveness, I mean the fact that there is an audience there who is right across from me, with whom I can create a connection, with whom I can interact, with whom I can do something with.
Yeah, engage them.
Or whatever, or I don't know. There are millions of things we can do with audiences, but
laugh,
this is
cry.
Exactly, and this is and build community, as you said earlier, and this is something very important. So that the first reason was liveness, and I can talk about liveness for hours, because with liveness there are so many things. For example, I am now someone who is not attracted or excited by any kind of performance that has a fourth wall.
What does that mean?
So the fourth wall in theater is, you know, you are looking at a theater and you feel that you are looking at a box.
Oh, right.
That are like
so you
three
mean an
walls.
open space?
No, like the three walls.
Yeah.
So usually the fourth wall is that invisible wall that is in front of the stage that makes you feel that you are, you know,
you can't see the audience sort of thing?
So you see the audience, but you don't interact with them because they don't exist in the story.
I see what you mean.
So you have a fourth wall between them because in your story they don't exist.
Okay.
And they are like as if they are peeking into your room, peeking into this scene in the car, but they are not there. Yeah. It's like they are a fly on the wall or something.
Okay.
So this is the classical theater where you have this fourth wall.
Right.
And with time, some theater makers broke it, and now it's more or less very much less existent than before.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not interested in plays that they you know, where there's a fourth wall. I mean, I will do them. I still enjoy them, but I'm less excited.
You
about them.
prefer the other.
I'm less excited, less passionate about it. I feel that if there's a fourth wall and I'm not acknowledging the audience's existence, or probably for what we're doing, they don't need to be here.
Right.
Then they shouldn't be here.
Oh, I see. They can do it on screen.
Yeah, you can film it. You can. So this is also where my thought process went. My thought process went all the way to thinking that, you know, if anything, any story I'm telling, anything I want to put on stage, if I can do it through any other medium, I'd rather do it in that medium before I bring it to the stage.
Oh, okay.
So unless the only way I can tell you the story is the stage, I will not do it on stage. If I can send it to you by an email, I'll send by email.
Oh,
if I can make it a brochure, you know, like, and go on Canva and design it, I will make it a brochure and send it to you.
So you want to connect with the audience live.
So that's one
real human connection.
Exactly. So there is that thing. If the theater is not bringing me something that only the theater can bring, I don't need to do it as a theater piece.
That's nice.
It's already very difficult to make a piece of theater. Doing something that is not needed is even worse. So so I try to avoid doing it on stage unless the stage is the only way to tell that story.
Okay.
And this is due to my reflection during COVID. And another thing that I realized is also in a very good and nice way, the need for people to watch others fail. Not from a perspective, not from a
How
evil.
would you get that?
So not from an evil perspective.
No.
It's from a very nice perspective. For example,
encouraging or understanding.
So when you're doing a live performance and someone is watching you, there's always the possibility of failure.
Right.
And people are sitting there, they are thinking, I want to see what you will do when you fail so that I'm inspired, so that when I'm back there in the real world in life and I fail, I can also deal with it.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, when you fail, you're going to deal with it. You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, like
we've all failed.
You are on stage.
Yeah, it happens.
You are on stage. People are in front of you.
Yeah.
You're going to have to deal with it.
God knows we failed a lot.
Right? Yeah. And this is very inspiring for people.
That's
to watch people and to get inspired by why they failed.
Not to criticize them.
No. To be inspired.
Yeah.
And maybe all of this is happening at a very subconscious level. Maybe people did not, you know, think before they left the house or before they bought the ticket. They didn't think, oh, you know what? Maybe we should go watch these people fail so that we learn how to deal better with failure. I don't think this is how it happens.
Yeah.
I think this whole idea happens at a very subconscious level where people, where it is something that makes theater or live performance attractive to audiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a very nice story about this that I read in some book. The National Circus of China, I think in the 90s, became so good.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like they take their craft very seriously.
Yeah.
So they became so good that nobody was making any mistakes anymore.
Right.
And they had a drop in the number of audiences. They actually brought in a company to do a study about why is our viewership falling.
Yeah.
And they realized it's because nobody was failing.
Yeah.
And
we don't have that.
Exactly.
When we see somebody fall.
Yeah. No. And they solved it by hiring someone whose job was to go every day and schedule who would fake dropping a pin today, or who would fake falling today, who would fake failing today. Yeah. And that indeed raised their audience numbers again.
Well, because they want to feel that they're like us also. In a way, like we want to admire them, but at the same time, they're not gods. You know?
Exactly.
So, okay.
And something that is that perfect, also now, after years of consuming film and TV and all of that feels edited to us. It feels like this
Yeah.
was, we
It's
removed all the
fake.
mistakes. We
Yeah.
removed all the mistakes and we did a clean edit of something. So it
Right.
doesn't feel that it is something different other than that. And if it is not different, then I can watch it at home. Why am I here?
So I'm really happy you had these positive reflections.
Oh yeah.
During COVID.
So am I. I was so close to quitting everything, but then I was like, you know what? Let's see how it goes. And then it's good that I had them too, and I stayed kind of doing the same things. Yeah.
So where can people find you, Rafi? So we know there's a website. I'll put it in the link in the
Yeah,
description.
there was, and there's the. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook.
So if anybody wants to follow you or attend one of your shows or something,
So usually I announce on Instagram, but also I have a newsletter that I send out once every few weeks where I update people who are interested. I felt
little reflections.
Yeah. I felt that there was also that sometimes I write on my blog some reflections and things like that. But I felt that. The algorithm is not always showing up on my friends' pages, and I do like a show for 2 weeks or something, and then the third week a friend comes in, hey, you haven't performed in a while. I go like, actually I just performed last week.
You have to be more active on social media for that. Yeah, you're not very active.
I'm not. I'm trying.
It takes time.
But then I decided to take things under my own control, decided to start a newsletter. Whoever is really interested will sign up to the newsletter.
That's the trend now.
And this way I can communicate to people exactly what they want to hear. So
awesome.
This is how people can find me.
Great. So my last question that I ask all my guests, what makes the ordinary extraordinary?
Wow. I think for me right now, this is also... I would think I had different answers to this question at different points of my life.
Definitely.
And I would probably have a different one later. At this point...
When we record another podcast another time.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Hopefully we will compare answers.
Okay, yeah, that would be fun.
At this point, I think anything that is genuinely human, anything that is really authentic when it comes to your own perspective of things, your own... I like to call it narrative, your own narrative of a certain story. I think that makes it, for me, quite extraordinary. I'm very curious about stories of people, of humans, not necessarily of celebrities or famous people or biographies of like people we know. I'm very interested.
The everyday person.
Yes, I'm very interested in taking the story of and someone who is, I don't know, who never thought that their story can or should be told.
There's so many.
Exactly, and then digging into that story, and that I think that for me would be extraordinary.
Yeah, this is a very wonderful episode, short and sweet, Rafi. So I hope we'll make another one soon.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Thanks, it's a pleasure.